I caught up with FIFA Council member, former president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, as we asked pertinent questions concerning Nigerian football, the state of Nigerian football, the coaching issues with the Nigeria Football Federation and the Super Eagles, and more importantly, the issue concerning Osimhen's botched saga to Chelsea and to Al Hilal. This is what we had to say today, and let's start it off from the obvious one. A lot of people are not entirely happy with the Nigerian Football Federation and the way things have been run in the last 1 year plus. What do you have to say to this? Is it a case of too much expectation, or what is it?
Yeah, because I was there for 8 years, I understand the dynamics of leadership, and there are a lot of things that are better left unsaid, Once you are running football in Nigeria, there are a lot of expectations. Everybody wants 10 over 10, They don't want even 9 over 10 is never good enough. If you look at everything going on in the country, the country is going through a phase, the president of the federation, not the football federation, president of the republic, is doing quite a lot in trying to, and when things are like this, it trickles down to every sector. It trickles down to football, it trickles down to agric, it trickles down to the economy, it trickles down to practically everything, because you cannot isolate football from what is going on. I give a critical example. You have a sponsor. The sponsor depends on FX to survive. The sponsor comes to you and says, listen, we cannot do this anymore. NFF has to cut 1 or 2 of their programs. It's simple. So people should look at it from that angle. It's not just trying to apportion blame or trying to be judgmental. NFF might have their own minuses, but generally speaking, the country is going through a phase, which I believe, I'm a believer of this country, which I believe will come off. And once we come off, the positive side will also trickle down on every sector, including football, sports generally, so it's just a very simple thing.
No, but the point is, a lot of people have questioned the handling of the Finidi George, Victor Osimhen, and the Bruno Labbadia issue in that particular sequence.
Let me take it from the Finidi George issue. I keep maintaining, I maintain my stance at the fact that, I did not ask them to employ Finidi George.
Okay.
But I said, first, you should know that from the beginning, I've always advocated for a foreign coach. And I know why. I know that a foreign coach will want to come with his retinue of staff, backroom staffing, that is in today's world, that is reminiscent of today's technical, depth in terms of winning a game. You must have your match reader, you must have your analyst, you must have your defender coach, you must have your attacking coach, you must have your midfield, you must have a physical trainer, you must have a goalkeeper coach, you must have everything. It's the whole gamut, it's the whole retinue of backroom staffing. Now, if you give a Nigerian coach the same, technically they can be very sound, but the players, will they respect him? So I know what I'm talking about. And like I said, it will all be captured in my book when it eventually comes out. So I've always advocated for a foreign coach. I kept getting in trouble for 5 years. I know the battle I went through. Why are you keeping this guy? Why are you keeping this guy? Now, when Pizarro left, I didn't expect Pizarro to leave. You cannot do so well in the Nations Cup. Look at the Nations Cup, you scored the first goal, and they came and they defeated you. Which shows you beat all the biggest teams in the continent and got to that finals. I expected us to build on that. But, of course, maybe his demand surpasses what perhaps...
I have 3 questions. Sorry to interject. I have 3 questions. Since you have already touched on this, let me ask one of them, which is, did you make a mistake letting Pesaro go?
I wouldn't know specifically. What I was meant to understand later was that his demand, of course, he won a tournament. He almost won a tournament. He was given a recognition by the government. I expected even the government to get around the NFF and say, okay, let us keep this man. He was given a national honor.
Yes.
He went to the villa.
Yes.
So I expected, but I don't know what happened. But you see, coaches too can also come with some demands. So I don't know if he came with some demands that the NFF could afford, because they have to look at affordability. What is available? What is in our bank? How can we afford this? How can we pay this? You are not paying Naira. Naira is going down every day. So I'm not trying to give an excuse. I don't know the real, my time was different. Like I said, I could walk into any company and just beg somebody and say, please, I want to, like what I did with I tell you, please, I want you to pay the coaches for us. This is your sponsorship for Nigerian football. But maybe they couldn't because of the economic situation at that point. Now, because they couldn't afford a Pizarro staying, the next option to me, as a former president, was for them to get Finidi, who was an integral part of Pizarro's leadership, technical leadership. At that point, the seamlessness of transition will be easy because he knows a lot of the tactics they employed, how they won all those games. And he too, he had coached a club and also coached a local club to win the league. So he had everything at that point to go, and that's why I supported him. Then coming to the Labadia, issue, coaches also take advantage. Now they sign contracts. They've not signed contract. The coach has already sent his passport, biodata page, his passport photo, and his crew for a visa on arrival, which means he was ready to come.
Okay.
Now, obviously, he went and said, okay, because if he gets paid, he remits the money back home.
True.
Now, if he remits money back home, once the money gets into his account, automatically he has to pay the German taxes.
But
we didn't have that issues with Genotro.
People felt these issues could have been foreseen.
No, but he after he agreed, maybe he now asked his own consultant or his own people, and they told him that, his bankers, and said, listen, once the money gets into this account, you pay in Nigeria, you also pay. He now said the NFL has to shoulder that responsibility. The only minus, personally, I can see there is that the NFL waited too long, too close to appoint a coach. To me, that was the only minus. Otherwise, I think the fault is more on the coach because you have agreed. You sent your biodata page and did all those things. And again, when I even say the NFL waited that long, they wanted to get the best. And indeed, Labadia, with his resume, they actually went to somebody, a 58-year-old, very young, very dynamic, with a very good track record.
Does Augustine Eguavon, does he have a godfather in football that he's returning for his fourth rodeo? Because you also brought him back for a mission, quote unquote, impossible. Now he's coming back again. And people are asking questions.
Eguavon, let me tell you, is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not like that. You can remember the Shaibu Amodu's time.
Yes.
As a technical director, even in major teams in global football, the technical director takes charge when there's a vacuum in the coaching crew.
True.
And that was what happened. Eguavon is still the technical director of the Nigerian Football Federation. If it was someone else, that person would have taken charge. I believe that it's more about the players.
Okay.
Not even the coach. The players should look at that green, white, green flag. Should look at that emblem and say, I want to die for Nigeria.
Since you mentioned players, I want to ask about Victor Osimhen. He divides opinions, and his latest transfer to Galatasaray has really opened a lot of can of worms. You're very close to him. I know you've spoken to him in recent times. So I would like to hear from you what is really going on. And are people being too hard on him? Because a lot of people felt, why do you insist on the money? Why not go for the opportunity?
Why shouldn't he insist for the money? I'm asking you. No. Why shouldn't he insist? I'm asking you. This question is not rhetorical. It's directly at me. So I'm telling you, why wouldn't he ask for the money?
Because, I have made people understand. João Felix last season had a problem with
Atletico Madrid. And
Oh.
he needed to move João Felix. I needed to move to Barcelona. And he was earning a paltry £5,000 a week. And he did that for a full season. Because he needed to be in Barcelona.
Yes. Are they under the same circumstances in terms of family, in terms of opportunities? There are something. One more. Okay. Have you asked yourself? All our ex-internationals, with all their billions, most of our ex-internationals, some die of pain, some die of penury,
But he's
some
just
die of
25.
poverty. No, I'm telling you. You don't want to go there. You don't listen, I'm telling you.
Okay.
I know the number of rent I pay, the number of surgeries I've done,
True.
which you of course are aware.
Yes.
So there are some things that you don't want to. Why I'm not saying that it shouldn't. The information that I have, there are some things I cannot even say. Because one, I'm in the FIFA Council. You know what that means. We have a modicum of ethics guiding that office. I'm not limited to Nigeria. I'm global. So there are things I cannot say. But I can tell you emphatically that Osimhen served Napoli with his heart. Osimhen did what nobody did in 30 years. Osimhen single-handedly, I use the word single-handedly, won that league for Napoli after 30 years. Guess what? Osimhen won the African Footballer of the Year. His club did not post it on that day. Are you aware? It was 2 days thereafter his club posted it. What does that tell you? Osimhen, did they give him a guard of honor for winning the African Footballer of the Year?
No.
Yes. So there are so many things that I cannot say. But Napoli was not fair to Osimhen. In a very civilized clime, in some countries, that his jersey will be retired for what he did for them. They would have retired that jersey. Do you know what it means to win the Scudetto? Roma, Inter Milan, AC Milan, Juventus. What are you talking about? Then Napoli from nowhere, he scored over 30 goals this season. It took them to the quarterfinals, semi-finals of the Champions League for the first time. He played his heart out. The following year, what happened? There are some things, like I said, that I cannot say, but let me just play it out in ambiguity and allow you to grasp and allow you to decipher what happened. You see him struggling. What happened? He has teammates.
But some
They
will
did not celebrate him.
some will say that that attitude that made him put out or go live with that outburst against Finidi.
No,
Might
did
be
they,
that's-
when did he do that?
That's
Well, listen,
problem holding him back.
No. Let's not be unnecessarily spiritual. When did that happen? It happened after he won the Nations Cup. Yeah, sorry, he won this thing.
Yes.
It happened after then. So you cannot hold that to him. You cannot. You cannot hold that. And when he did that, I'm sure he regretted it because I mentioned and I told him what he did was wrong. Finidi is one of the most peaceful coaches, or not just a coach, one of the most peaceful human beings that I know. What he has won is phenomenal. He has won everything. Osimhen loves this country. Osimhen wants to win everything. He wants to be the goalkeeper. He wants to be the defender. He wants to be the midfielder. He wants to be the attacker. He wants to score goals. He wants to keep scoring goals. But Nigerians should encourage him. He's an asset. We should support him. We should find out. You journalists, do your investigation. Those of us in the global football space, we know what is happening. That's why any day, anytime, I love my Gianni Infantino. He loves Africa the way you are. He loves you the way you are. He wants to be there for you. And he's kicking everything that will make you believe that you are inferior. But Osimhen took the right decision. I'm telling you, I make bold to say it.
Final question. Where do we go from here for Nigerian football? Do we stick with Eguavon if he wins like he did for the time being? Or do we make up our mind and expect a foreign coach or a local coach?
I will just play the fifth. There's no way I will answer that question. I will play the fifth because I don't want to preempt anything. I'm not the president of Nigerian Football Federation. I'm a member of the executive committee. So I'll play the fifth on that. Thank you.